Okay, children. Good morning to all of you. So, today we will start with the last topic of the chapter, and that is ex-situ conservation. So, we are on the last topic of the chapter, which is ex-situ conservation. Ex-situ conservation of biodiversity. This is what our last topic is. Ex-situ means we conserve the biodiversity, the animals, the plant species, the animal species away from their natural habitat in an artificial habitat. So when they are preserved, when they are conserved off-site, then we say that away from their natural habitat. Then we say that the ex-situ conservation is taking place, conserved off-site and away from the natural habitat. In this, the first way, the first method is zoological parks. Zoological parks, also in short we call them zoos. The second is botanical gardens. The third is wildlife sanctuaries. The fourth is one sophisticated technique which I'll be telling you. Now here the first one, which is zoo or the parks, here the animals, they are protected, they are taken care of, they are kept in various cages, big cages or a big or a moderate size of land area, and the animals are kept, they are taken care of, they are given good medical facilities, and they are given their whatever their main food is, that is provided by the zoo people. At the same time, their cleanliness, their cleanliness of the area where they live, that is taken, everything is taken care of the zoo. And artificially they are, allowed to breed also, so that more species of more organisms of that particular type are produced. So these are zoological park. This is basically for the animals, for protecting the animals in captivity away from their natural habitat. Then the next one is botanical gardens. Botanical gardens is against this zoological park. This is an area where the plants are the threatened, the endangered, or of course for even if they are not threatened or endangered, they have some special qualities in them. They are grown and taken care of by the people who work in the botanical gardens. Now what is done, that wherever these plants they are grown in the specific land area, there a big we say that a particular board is, they put a board on which the name, the common name from where it is brought, and what is the classification, what are the special features. All are written so that whosoever comes, they are able to identify the animal, identify the plant. Here in case of botanical garden, the same thing is done in case of zoos also. But in case of zoos, I think the whole classification we will not find. But of course, from the native of which place is this animal, that is also written. What is the special feature, that is also written. Complete information is also given about that animal in the zoological park. Same is done in the botanical park. Along with the classification, the complete information of that particular plant is given. So both are protected areas for the plants and the animals. The botanical gardens and the zoological parks, the caretakers are there. They are salaried by the government, and they take care of their well-being. Even if the animals in zoos they don't keep well, they have special visits by the doctors, the vets, who just take care of them. And same is in the case of plants. They are taken care of them by the special people from the scientists from the agricultural department, who just take care of the plants. Then we have wildlife sanctuaries. Wildlife sanctuaries, these are also places which are artificially made, but these are, unlike zoos, they appear to be more natural. Like the Pong Dam, that area is a wildlife sanctuary. Then we have one in Lake, Lake in Sirmaur district of Himachal Pradesh. We have a big lake, Renuka Lake, and that is also a wildlife sanctuary. Some animals are kept, and there is a lake alongside, and they are kept in more natural conditions as compared to the zoological park. So the Pong Dam also has Pongdam, that area where the tourists are allowed, that is also a wildlife sanctuary. Then these areas, of course, the researchers can visit, the students can visit to study about the plants and the animals, and mm, their characteristic features and all other information they get from there. The researchers also come, the students from different schools, colleges, they visit and they take information. The next, fourth one, fourth type of off-site conservation or ex situ conservation is cryopreservation. This is cryopreservation. This is, this is done in which either the cells or the genetic material, and in case of plants, the pollens. Suppose we think that this is a particular species which is going to extinct. So what is done, that the complete body or the genetic material or a part, a cell, some cells, they are taken out and they are kept in liquid nitrogen at the temperature 196 degrees centigrade, and they are preserved for a long time. This is done in case of human beings also now. There is an institute in America, Mexico most probably. Their cryopreservation is being done now. There was a couple, a husband and a wife, Americans. They started this cryopreservation of human beings, and the first body they preserved was their own granddaughter who was suffering from a disease, and she was, I think, 17, 16, 17, and she died because of that disease, and her body has been cryopreserved. This cryopreservation is done so that in future, if the science develops some, because of the development, some research, if the scientists they develop some technique of bringing that particular organism back to life again, then the raw material will be there in the form of their body. So what is done is that in case of human being, the complete blood is taken out, and then they are kept in uh, you know a big size of container where liquid nitrogen is there, and at minus 195, 196 degree, this is cryopreservation is done. So this is the first cryopreservation which was done. I forgot the name of that particular couple who was doing it in Mexico. I gave it once in the school, in the knowledge for the day, but right now I am not remembering. I can tell you later on sometimes. So this cryopreservation for animals, plants, and in this case, the complete body can be preserved, complete body can be preserved, or few cells of the body, or genetic material, in the hope that in future, if some technique develops to bring them back in life, back to life, then if the body, if this particular cells or few cells or genetic material can be is preserved, they can be brought back, the similar type of life can be brought back to life again. So that this is the way, that is why the cryopreservation is done. So here we finish with the XC2 conservation and of course the chapter also. Then this chapter is over. Biological biodiversity and conservation chapter is over. This was the last chapter of your syllabus. So children, any query in this portion, in this chapter, whatever we did yesterday, whatever we did today, any query, any question, anything you want me to repeat, which I can repeat for you can ask just now. And then we can discuss on what to start tomorrow or from tomorrow, because the whole syllabus is done. So if you want to start with the deleted portions, or if you want the new topics to be taught to you, deleted portions or whatever we have done, revision of that, whatever you want, whatever you decide, that we can. Right now, first you tell me any query based on the topic which we did yesterday and today. Yes. Yes, beta. Any question, any repetition of the topic which we did yesterday and today? Yes, bache? Yes, beta. I'm not getting your response. Here, in place of wildlife sanctuaries, it should be wildlife safaris. Wildlife safaris. Yes. Yes, beta, anything? Any question, any query from this portion? I'm not getting any response. What happened? I am not audible to you. Okay. Paras has given the answer as usual. It's clear. So I think to everybody this is clear. Now let me know. Okay, Amit Katoj also says this. Now Amit and you all. Okay. What do you want me to start with you now? The syllabus is over. So would you like to start the deleted portions? Because in the NEET examination revision. Okay, Amit Katoch is saying revision. Any other views? Okay, Chitra is also saying revision. Fine. Okay. Navneet also says revision. Paras is saying deleted chapters. Deleted chapters. Yes. See, this is September has started today. So we have this month, we can give some time for the deleted chapters and then we can start on with the revision. So that way we'll be able to cover. So you can send me the students from the deleted portions, which topic you want me to start with you. Which topic you find important and you want me to start with you. Revision of genetics. Okay. Ecology. Ecology. Fine. Paras is saying ecology. And Katoch Amit is saying ecology. Shagun ma'am, can you also revise Lovepreet ma'am one portion? Okay. Okay, beta. Okay, fine. Revision of genetics. Vanshika is saying fine. So that way I'll have to start with genetics is going to take a lot of time. as you know, before also when we did these two chapters, principle of inheritance and variation and molecular basis, at that time also it took a lot of time to complete these two chapters. Right now, if I start with the human health and diseases, are you okay with that? Shagun is saying yes, ma'am. Mariam is also saying yes, ma'am. Okay. Any other chapter you would like to, I mean, if anybody wants any other chapter besides this, besides the revision of this chapter, I can revise this chapter, but any of you who is suggesting me any other chapter. Ecology portion also, Baras, I can take, but before that, because today is 1st of this September, so we can give some time for the revision of, or for the deleted portion also. Right now, is it okay with this chapter, human health and diseases? Okay. Okay. There are then there is one more chapter which was excluded, which was deleted, and that was strategies for human and for enhancement in food resources, biotech principles and processes. Okay. Biotech principles and processes. Fine. Fine. Okay. So this second chapter, okay. First chapter you want me to take, biotech principles and processes, no problem. Because that chapter is in continuation with the next chapter. So I think it will be better if I take biotech principle and processes. One student said, please take biotech principles and processes. So from tomorrow, I think I should start with this chapter. Okay, children, how was your test yesterday? It was good? Okay, the questions were quite simple. So today also I'll be asking you some similar type of questions, and in the coming this test which you will have on Monday, now Monday, you will have the remaining portion in your test. Like till now what we did was till I think you got in test till this importance of species diversity to the ecosystem. So after this, uh, okay, Sukhsahaj has got 20. Most of the students have got 20 marks, I think, and the attempt was good, what I checked. What I think that from the portion which is on page number 263, from loss of biodiversity till XE2 conservation. Loss of biodiversity till XE2 you will get in your syllabus. Loss of biodiversity to XE2. This full you are going to get in the test, weekly test, which you will have on Monday. So prepare this for your test. Okay. For your test, this will come, which you are going to have on Monday. Now, beta, I'll ask you some questions. I think you will be able to answer the questions. And for that, let me unmute you first. I'll unmute you all and you will be answering the questions. Okay, children. The first question, you all are unmute and I think you will be able to answer the questions which I am asking. There was organization which is responsible for maintaining red data book. Can you name the organization responsible for maintaining red data book? Yes. Which is that organization which is responsible for maintaining a red data book? Yes.
IUCN. IUCN.
IUCN. That's, yeah. Can anybody tell me the full form of IUCN?
Ma'am, International Union for Conservation of Nature.
Of
Very good. Very good. It is International Union for Conservation of Nature. Then there are the next question. Uh, the next question is how many species are documented to be extinct in last 500 years by IUCN Red List 2004. This is given in your NCERT book. In 2000, last 500 years, how many species have got extinct? Yes. Yes, beta. Any idea? It is 784 species. This is given in your NCERT book when we start with loss of biodiversity. Okay, the next question is here. A critically endangered animal is passenger pigeon, dodo, great Indian bustard, or zebu. A critically endangered animal is passenger pigeon, dodo, great Indian bustard, or zebu. Yes. Yes.
Ma'am, Great Indian.
Great Indian bustard. What is this, Basi? What is this
Hello,
great Indian bustard?
hello.
What is this? Have you heard of this great Indian bustard sometimes? And what is it?
Ma'am, it is a
It's a
type of
bird.
deer. But
It's a bird. Okay. Now another question is the reason behind conserving biodiversity have been grouped into which of the following categories? You have to answer. The reason behind conserving biodiversity have been grouped into which of the following category? Narrowly utilitarian, broadly utilitarian, ethical, or all of these? Yes?
ma'am, all of these.
all of them.
All of these. Yes, because yesterday when I taught, I told you that there are three reasons. One is narrowly utilitarian, then broadly utilitarian, and ethical. What are the example? Can you give me any example of broadly utilitarian? Any example of broadly utilitarian? Yes.
Ma'am, medicinal purposes.
No, that comes in narrow utilitarian, because in that case, a particular interest of a small group of people is seen. When we say broadly utilitarian, that means it includes a complete globally we see. Example is Amazon forest, which is providing 20% of oxygen, of air, fresh air, to the whole planet. Then the bumblebees, I gave you example of bumblebees, bats, birds, which help in pollination. If this pollination will not take place, we will not get food. There won't be, production of food. So that was broadly utilitarian. Then there is another question. More than 25% of drugs are derived from plants. What kind of benefits does this describe? See, when we talk, I'm saying that 25% of drugs are derived from plants. Then by this, what do we mean? Ethical values, aesthetic values, direct economic value, or indirect economic value?
Direct
Yes.
economic.
Yes, it is direct economic value. And that way, if we see, is it broadly utilitarian or it is narrow utilitarian? Out of the
Narrow
two, narrow utilitarian. Yes.
Narrow.
Then there is a question. Amazon rainforest are considered as lungs of planet, as they contribute dash of the total oxygen in the Earth's atmosphere. How much?
20%.
Yes.
20%.
How much oxygen do they contribute? Yes, beta.
20%.
20%. Yes. They contribute 20% of the total oxygen. Then broadly utilitarian arguments for the conservation of biodiversity does not include bioprospecting, aesthetic value, pollination, climatic regulation. I repeat, broadly utilitarian argument for the conservation of biodiversity does not include bioprospecting, pollination, aesthetic value, climatic regulation. Yes. What do you think?
Bioprospecting, ma'am.
Bioprospecting. It does not include bioprospecting. Then waking up to a bulbul song in the morning is related to what? Waking up to a bulbul song in the morning is related to, yesterday we did this example in one of the utility. What was
Ma'am,
that?
broad utility.
Yes, broad
Ma'am, broad.
utility. Yes, walking through the forest, hearing the chirping of the birds, the songs of bulbul. So this is something which comes in broad utility, broad utilitarian. Then there are questions. XC2 conservation is used for the conservation of all plants, all animals, threatened animals and plants, both A and B. What do you think?
Threatened
XC2.
animals and plants.
See, when XC2 conservation, the example is zoo. When we go to the zoo, we sometimes see monkeys. Monkeys are not threatened. So it includes all the plants and animals, because if those are to be kept, mostly they are kept in their natural habitat. Okay, so it includes all plants and animals. Conservation in the natural habitat is, what do
NC2.
we call it? XC2. Example of XC2 conservation?
Ma'am, botanical gardens.
Botanical
Zoological
gardens,
park.
zoological parks,
Zoological.
wildlife safaris.
Wildlife safari.
Yes. And in India, how many hotspots are there?
Ma'am, 3.
Yesterday we discussed it. Yes,
Ma'am, 3.
3 hotspots. Can you name those hotspots of India?
Ma'am, Western Ghats.
Western Ghats, yes.
Himalaya.
Burma and Himalaya.
Do Burma.
What is the third one?
Burma and Himalaya, Western Ghats.
Sri Lanka and Burma, India region. That region is in. And in the whole world, how many hotspots are there?
Ma'am, 34.
34 hotspots are there. Now, I'll ask you a question. Which pair of geographical area shows maximum diversity in our country? Sundarbans and Rann of Kutch, Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats, Eastern Himalayas and Western Ghats, Kerala and Punjab. Which one shows the maximum biodiversity? Now, if you see here in one of the pair, 2 hotspots are present. So which are hotspots? They will show the maximum biodiversity, and that pair is Eastern Himalayas and Western Ghats. Okay. So now, in a national park, protection is provided to flora and fauna only, entire ecosystem, flora only. What do you think? Yes? Yes, bache?
Entire ecosystem.
Entire
Yeah,
ecosystem. Entire ecosystem which is preserved. Now, I told you species area relationship. In that, I gave you an equation. Anybody of you remember that equation? When it is interpreted using log, what was that equation?
Log S is equals to log C plus Z log A.
Yes, the equation is log S is equal to log C plus Z log A. In this, what does S represent? What is S?
Richness of species.
Yes, what is A?
A is area,
And what is Z?
and Z is that coefficient of
Slope of
it
the
is that
line. Regression
slope,
coefficient.
yes ma'am,
Slope of the
coefficient.
line or regression coefficient.
Coefficient.
Now, how many mega biodiversity country are there in the world?
12.
8, 12.
Yes, these are 12. And what is the rank of India in that list?
8th.
8.
8. But what about the land area which it covers?
2.4%.
2.4%.
2.4% of the world's land. We are having this much. Now, what are the causes of biodiversity loss? You will tell me any one cause and describe it. Causes of biodiversity loss. Any one cause?
Overexploitation.
Overexploitation. Can you explain it little in 2-3
Yes,
lines?
ma'am.
What is
When
that?
need turns into greed, then there is overexploitation.
Hmm.
And
Overexploitation of natural resources.
yes,
Otherwise, the
ma'am.
nature has sufficient for everybody. But
Yes,
what do? We overexploit the natural resources. When our need turns into greed, what is happening? What we are cutting down forest at an enormous rate for making colonies. The builders have to earn money. So the need is turning into greed. We are making concrete forest everywhere, cutting the trees. We are harming the natural ecosystem. So this is our need turning into greed. Otherwise, for need, nature has sufficient. Any other person? Another cause of biodiversity
Ma'am,
loss?
alien species invasion.
हाँ जी. Speak again, बच्चे. Cause of biodiversity loss. Another
Ma'am,
point, Sukhsar?
ma'am, alien species.
Alien species. Can you explain with an example what is that introduction of alien species? First of all, you have to describe what is an alien. What species are we calling an alien species?
Ma'am, alien species is described as a species which is not like regularly in a place. It has come from some other place, which has been
Yes,
introduced, or it has come by mistake. For
by
example,
mistake, or
like
sometimes
in
it is introduced also, or sometimes by, yeah.
by mistake, yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
Example?
Like in ma'am, in Africa, in Lake
Hmm.
Victoria, they
Hmm.
introduced Nile perch,
Nile
and
perch.
yes, ma'am, when they introduced that, it caused like death of 200 this species, indigenous species.
Yes, indigenous species were killed.
Yes,
Why
ma'am.
this
And
happens?
in
Why
India
why
also,
the
terror
yes
of Bengal, that Ecornia was
yes terror of
introduced
Bengal?
for
What is the name of
beauty,
that
but
plant?
Ecornia,
Econia. And why was it introduced?
because of its beautiful leaves, it was just
Yes.
introduced for its beautiful
So
leaves.
what happened after it was introduced into the water bodies of Bengal?
It grew very fast, and it covered all the land, all the water,
Yeah.
and it caused death of the marine animals which are there in the rivers.
It
That's
used
why
to
it was
cover.
called
It used
terror
to.
of Bengal.
Yes, it used to grow at a very fast rate, covering the surface of the water body. Then what happened? Inside
Then
there was water deficiency. Yes, Bache,
yes,
you are speaking something?
yes, ma'am. Then in when it covered, then like it would cover and oxygen could not reach.
Hmm. Any other example
Ma'am,
of
one
alien
more
species?
example is the African catfish,
Huh?
which
Yes.
has been, which this is, it has been introduced. This is illegally. It has been introduced, and it
Hmm.
has been introduced, and it has for it